my sons are amazing. I may owe back child support, but that's because I didn't know he was my son, so I have to pay it down. But the whole thing is that if you're asking me, am I a good father? Yes, Caley, you know in my heart, I'm a good father.
Your kids are not online ringing fucking welfare checks on people.
They're not.
Exactly.
And you know, my son,
Say I had to back.
So somebody contacted my son. Through Facebook, and my son said to this person, "I love my dad. My dad took care of me my entire life. My dad's a great man, right? And we're going to destroy him. We're going to destroy him." And I'm like, and my son got pissed. My son is a big guy, man. And my son's like, "Well, look, yo, come to my," so just like me, come to my location, you know, my son. And then he called me, and my son was getting visibly upset, right? And I can call my son so easily, right? I said, "Son, don't worry about it. Let it go. Block the number. Don't worry about it, son. And I'm sorry that you're involved. These are sick people. These are sick people because they're hurting themselves. No, they're hurting inside themselves, and they have to project their hurt on other people." You're asking me about me and my son's mother. No, we had a good separation, and I took care of her for years after that. I would pay her bills. I would give her cars because I was selling cars at the time. I would give her cars. But no, the child support is someone that I don't know. I only knew for a couple months, and it was a tragedy. It was a tragedy in the making. That's all it was. Tragedy,
like a disaster from start to finish.
Oh yeah, it was terrible. And you know what? So check this out, Caley. I paid $6,800, right? $6,800, because I was owed back. And she takes it, and she leaves the kid with her grandmother, and she goes to Hawaii with her boyfriend. What happened was, is that I knew her through mutual friends, and I met her at a club, and I didn't know she was with. I didn't know she was somebody else. I had no idea, right? So then, she comes back to the house, and we do what we do, and she gets pregnant, right? But the whole thing is that she's with somebody else. I had no idea that she was with. I had no clue. So she assumed that this kid is with him, right?
Yep.
So then he leaves. So check it out. He leaves her, right? He's leaving her, and she's like, "I'm hitting you with child support," right? And so he goes, "All right, let's do a paternity test," and it comes back that it's 0.0. It's not his kid, right? And the kid looks just like me. So she orders a test on me. As I go to court, I take a test. I'm like, "Oh fuck," They're like 99.9% it's yours. I'm like, "Oh fuck."
Oh my God.
So I paid like 11,000. I paid 6,800, then 2,200, and then there's back, and I lost my job, right? Because I'm helping my parents. So I got behind. Because I was making $100,000 a year, Caley. And they're gonna hit you for like, $200 a week, $300 a week. I have a lot of gold, right? I have a lot of gold bullion. So I sold a bunch of my gold, right? And I wish I would have waited, because gold at the time was like 1,800. Now it's 3,300. So I could have paid more. I could have paid like 30 grand, right? And and her grandmother called me, right? Because her grandmother loves me. Her grandmother, she lives with Caley, she doesn't even have a house. She lives with her grandmother. Caley, she's an RN nurse making $70,000 a year, and she needs my money, like with no rent. Like, what are you talking about? And I'm taking care of my parents. I'm taking care of my family members, right? So check it out. So I gave her $6,800, right? Straight up $6,800.
Wow. Okay.
She goes on. Caley, she goes on vacation with her boyfriend. So I tried to talk to the judge. I was like, look, I was like, and the judge was and I hate to say this, I'm not going to be racist or anything like that, but the judge was a lesbian woman, and because my lawyer was like, yo, my lawyer was like, yo, she's a bitch, bro. She's she doesn't like men. She doesn't like men. The judge, I said, Your Honor, I said, is there any way I can put money in a trust for him? In a trust. That way she can't take it. It's for him. She goes, no, I'm not doing that. I'm like, Caley, I'm not breaking the law. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not hurting anybody. I gave her almost $7 grand, and she went to Hawaii with her boyfriend. It's like, what the fuck? Without the kid. Now, if you took my son on vacation and showed him like Disney World or okay. But I talked to the grandmother. She goes, Mike. She goes, her name is Ruby, right? She goes, Mike. She goes, if you need me to come to court with you, I will, because Lindsay's a piece of shit. So the grandmother kicks her out of the house, right? So then she goes live with the mom. Because the mom and her husband, they divorced. So now she's living with the mom. She barred me from contact. She did it right after I started paying. She said that I was violent and I was going to harm her and the child, which is a complete lie. That was never said. was never
So
said.
did that, when was the last time that you seen your son?
4 years ago. What she said was, she said that I'm a known associated mafia member and I'm violent and I killed people. That's what she told the judge. That's what she told, which is not true. It's not true.
No, obviously not.
Yeah.
You're like the least violent person like I know.
So
like
what the judge, but
yeah.
unfortunately, Caley, well, I am violent if I have to defend myself. But Caley, unfortunately, the judge pulled my family's name, and my family does have affiliations, you know, but it has nothing to do with me. I'm not involved in that. And then the judge also pulled that I was a conservative of the peace, which is a special police officer. So I was actually an officer, but the judge still ruled against me to see him. So I have to pay, but I can't see my own child. No, I've only seen him 3 times. 3 times. That's it. The judge was a piece of shit and really sided with her. So I'm sitting in the courtroom, right? So I'm sitting in the courtroom. Check this out, Caley. I'm sitting in the courtroom, right? And you have the prosecutor, who is another lesbian, right? Fat lesbian, right? And my son's mother is saying, he threatened my life. He threatened to kill me. It never happened. That never happened. And I'm like, Your Honor. I was like, Your Honor. And I have my lawyer, right? My lawyer's trying to step in, right, and say something. Your Honor, that never happened. Shut up. She goes, shut up. I can't even speak. My older son, Nicholas, he is the best person you've ever seen. He is a private investigator. He's going to be a paramedic. He is the best. I mean, I'm talking about if you met him, if you hung with him, he'd protect you. He's a bodyguard. He'd protect you. You would love to be around my son, Nicholas. The other kid is a piece of trash. And I'll tell you why. Because of his mother. Because he's never had me in his life. He's never had me in his life to guide him. When you have a lot of resentment, so a lot of times in psychology, psychology is that what happens is someone will get in your head, right? They'll get someone impressionable in your head, and they'll implant things in your head. And I think, you know, he's being implanted, and these things aren't true. I don't know him, Caley. I've only met him 3 times, Caley. He looks just like Caley. He looks just like me. I would love to be with him. I'd love it. And his behavior. So when I went and met him for the last time. This is about 4 years ago. I met him for the last time. And I said, you know, he's yelling at his grandma, right? He punched his grandma in the face. Caley.
Wow. Okay.
And I stood up and I was like, sit your ass down. Because I'm a big guy. Sit your ass down. Don't ever put your hands on your family. He goes, F you, I'm calling the police on you. So I stood up and I said, I'm done. I'm done. You guys, good luck with you guys. I'm out of here. And I left. This kid is like Satan. You know, and it's and Caley, it's not from me. That's their spirit. You know what I'm saying? You're talking about energy, but like I can't explain it to you. I'm embarrassed. You know, I'm embarrassed. I want to say right now he's like 14.
So at 9 years old, he was like, from your perspective, being like a piece of shit.
No, not a piece of shit, Caley. A psychopath. Like he has mental issues. So now he's also on multiple medications, Adderall. All kinds of medications. So he has mental issues. And I'm sorry that he has that because my son Nicholas doesn't. My son Nicholas has never taken a pill in his life, you know, and my other kids don't ever take pills. But the whole thing is that I think he has a mental defect. But the thing is that I was willing to come into his life and help him, but it's just, he's out of control. And, but I was willing to do it. He's bipolar. Yeah. And then as I'm leaving, he goes, fuck you to me. I'm like, wow. The guy, so check this out, Caley, the guy that she was dating, and it has nothing to do with race, but he's a black guy, right? Just saying he is. And he likes to and he was selling drugs. And he would have people over like buying drugs when he was there. And it's like, it was just a shitty, and remember, I'm not in his life. I don't know anything about this. And remember, my other son, we were married for 11 years to his mother. His mother is freaking amazing. She's beautiful. Inside and out. But this one was just, it was a fling. It was a fling, and it was a bad decision. And you know, I can tell you this. Right. So the reason why I got the order is because she said that I killed people. I've killed people. She knows I killed people, and she's thinking that I'm gonna K-word her. And that was never said. It was never said. So the judge is like, okay, well, it's a no contact order. It's like, okay, so that happened right. So that happened right after. So I was paying child support for a while. I gave her like almost $10,000, and then I lost my job. And then I went to court, and I was like, I want to see him. I want to have visitation. And then she said to the judge and her prosecutor, he's threatened to K-word me. I never did that. I never. Kaylee, you've seen me online. I've never threatened a K word to anybody. You've seen me online. I've never done
Yeah.
that.
So
They sided with her. And then my attorney said to me, he pulls me aside, you know, the attorney will talk in your ear, and he goes, Mike, he goes, yeah, they hate men. He goes, they hate men. And he's like, you're not going to win this one. So just take it and walk away. I was like, okay. And that's what I did. And yeah, so I have to appeal it. My son, Nicholas, loves me so much, right? He calls me, he checks on me. I don't want to get emotional, but I love him so much, right? And I would love the other kid if he would just be in my life. But I can't love something that's not in my life. You have to build a relationship. I'm a good person, but what happened to me was messed up. It was really, really messed up. And Kaylee, I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't neglect anybody. I didn't do anything like that. But it's really hard that people will run with a fake narrative. You know what I'm saying, Kaylee? They'll run with a fake narrative. And Kaylee, if you're asking me if I'm a good father, Kaylee, if you talk to my son, Nicholas will tell you, my dad was the best dad I've ever had. I mean, I take care of my kids, my stepkids. They're all college grads. They're all successful. Like, I'm a good father. But this psycho did all of this stuff to me. And I hope one day when she passes away that she burns in hell. And I'm sorry to say that, Kaylee, because I'm a Catholic, but I hope she burns in hell one day, because what she did to me was completely facetious and completely wrong. And it's sad. It's really sad, you know. Well, the one that I don't know, I'll never know, because I'm barred from even knowing him. I love Nicholas. I love Nicholas more than anything you could. If you gave me, so if you said to me, Kaylee, if you said to me, I'll give you $100 million, right, to not talk to Nicholas, I would turn it down. Okay, that's the love I feel for him. That's the love. I'll turn it down. I'd rather be poor and have my son in my heart. If you're asking me about the other kid, Kaylee, I'm sorry. I feel nothing. I feel nothing, right? When you love somebody, you have to fall in love with them, correct? You have to fall in love. But I never had a chance. When Nicholas was born, I watched him come out of my wife. He was 10 pounds, 15 ounces. That's a big boy. That's a big boy, right? 10 pounds, you know, and I cut the cord and I looked at him and I fell in love with him, you know, and it can never be changed. But I never had that with the other kid. You know, he doesn't have my last name. He's a different last name because she thought it was somebody else's kid. But I'm telling you, it's really hard to say this. I have two sons, but I only have one. And that's the hardest thing to admit to. You know, that you only have one son. You don't have two. It's funny because Nicholas looks like me, but the other kid looks just like me. Black hair, brown eyes, you know, big, muscular. He's in karate. He looks just like me, but I'm not able to be in his life.
I want to just say, okay, one thing I take, like, and I wanted to let you speak and express yourself before stepping in too early and stuff like that. I will say, Mike, I am really, like, shocked and taken back by your feelings towards your child, because I feel like automatically, as soon as, like, you are aware that that is your child, there's automatically a connection. And even if it's not from the birth, it's from the initial meeting or a photograph that you're given, and you have met up with him once or twice, to hear as well, like, he's been diagnosed with such a severe mental health condition, especially as a young child, which plays a huge part in his behavior and how he would approach situations with other adults, i.e. grandmother or you, and relationship building. If you think about how traumatic it was for you, you're saying it was very traumatic for you to meet him, and you had went through all this struggle of never meeting him. God knows how he must have been feeling to find out one day that you're his dad, and to also be struggling and going through so much traumatic stuff and a new mental health diagnosis, to then on top of it face such a uphill battle. And I believe, like, this is one thing where you are 100% in the wrong, as is his mum, if what is you're saying the circumstances is correct. And I feel like as parents, this has absolutely fallen on your shoulders and his mum's shoulders to make sure that that child both knows that you love them. And that's why I wanted to let you speak, because I have heard nothing really out of your mouth of any genuine love towards your second child. But when you speak about Nicholas, there's an overwhelming sense of pride, sense of joy, sense of love. Like, I can just feel it. When it comes to your minor child, the 14-year-old, there's literally nothing coming from you.
I feel nothing. I don't, Caley, what do you talk? I don't know him. I've spent 3 days with him. I don't even know this person.
Okay, I get that. Okay, it can be difficult to build a bond. Okay, however, your feeling towards him is negative. It isn't positive. And there is a resentment, there is a hatred, there is a undertone of nasty feelings towards him, and he's only young.
Caley, are you kidding me? There's no resentment. I just don't have a bond with him. I've never known him. I tried 3 times, but I don't even know this kid. I knew he was my son when he was like 11, 12 years old. What are you talking about? I don't know this child. I don't even know him.
Okay. There is a part of you that should automatically sympathize with your other child who has, from your own words, faced an uphill battle with his mother. You've talked about a boyfriend. You've talked about her leaving him at times, leaving her with her grandparent. That should automatically give you extra sympathy for a child that didn't get what Nicholas got. Instead, he, from your point of view, as going through it, he's also been diagnosed, like, bipolar is a pretty serious diagnosis, and I don't think there's something not quite right with your connection with him. And I feel like what actually should have happened was, regardless of the situation, you still love your child unconditionally, and you still care for them, and you still have like positivity.
Sure. And I appreciate that. I appreciate your, but no, if you're asking me if I love him at all, no, there's no love there. There's no love. None. Zero. Is he going to exist? Yes, he's going to exist. But if there's love, there's none. There's zero.
Well, Mike,
and I'm being honest with you.
But with no help from you, whether he's going to exist or not, that's a child. You do understand that, right? Don't you? That's a child.
Caley, for you to say this, Caley, how many kids do you have?
Regardless of how many kids I have,
none, zero, Caley. So I'll circle you.
No,
listen. So to love somebody, that's okay, Caley. Hold on. Caley,
no,
hold on.
Mike, I won't hold on. Okay?
Hold on, real quick. Let me say something.
Survive,
Caley, let me say something.
Survive.
To love somebody, you have to have a bond. To love somebody.
Yeah.
You know,
and
if there's no bond,
on this panel that you do not love your 14-year-old child.
I don't know him.
And that's why you ain't paid a fucking penny for him. And thank God that he survived, because obviously his mum fucking stepped up, the state has stepped up, his grandma stepped up, but you haven't fucking stepped up.
I love it. I love how fake you are. But no, the whole thing is that, I don't know him.
Mike,
if I got to know him and spend time with him, I would love him. But I don't have any interaction with him. So how can you love something you don't know? That's all I'm trying to say.
Mike, you've never tried to have an interaction. You've bothered 3 times, and it ended up.
I tried multiple times.
You said 3 times. You can't even keep your fucking story straight.
Right.
What's mentally wrong with you that you cannot look after a child who's 14 years old and not even pay your way in life?
I actually am. I gave her over $10,000.
No, you fucking ain't. You wouldn't have been picked up on warrants.
I gave her over $10,000.
Where's the rest of the money? Why you keep getting picked up, Mike?
You tell me.
But no, I'm asking you. Why didn't you tell everybody where the fucking money is, considering it's your warrants?
Caley, are you drunk? Are you drunk right now?
No, but maybe you're drunk. Maybe you're
spending too much fucking time on alcohol. Caley, I'm not drunk at all. I'm not drunk, but you're flipping out for no reason. We were friends.
No, you just trashed a fucking child. You just trashed a 14-year-old, your own flesh and blood.
I trashed a child?
Your child, not a child, your own child.
What?
3 kids? 3 kids.
I have 2. I have 2 sons.
Yeah, you said you also had another one before too.
And I have 3 stepchildren.
Okay, well, why did you say that you cut all your kids' cords?
I cut my son's cord.
No, you said kids before, kids.
No, I didn't say that.
Yeah, and you also said that you're a police officer will level 27 clearance. That was another lie. If you're a police officer, then how come you can't bring in enough income to pay all your child support? Imagine saying that, okay, about your own child. Like, about them surviving. Well, not that you fucking ever helped out for them to survive. You haven't even paid your fucking child support for them to eat, for medical, nothing. Like, he could have come up here and done his little bullshit stuff, and I would have been cool with it. Like, I wouldn't have minded that. But I'm not going to fucking sit up here while he sits and trash talks his own fucking kid.